This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I am here with John Forrest, who is joining us all the way from New Zealand. How are you, sir?
Just fine.
Now, we are here to speak about an initiative that's been happening in New Zealand that I'm absolutely fascinated by. This lighter wines movement, which I believe you are the initiator of.
Well, both are true. What we have today is 20 wineries and a co-investment between the New Zealand wine industry and the government of around $20 million to develop and both how to grow, how to make, and then how to market wines that have all the flavour and typicity of a good New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc or a Rosé or a Pinot Noir, but just have 4 to 5% less alcohol. So we're
4 to 5% less. So you're talking about like 9.5, 10%.
Less than 10. Everyone's aiming for.
Okay.
Yeah. So it makes a big difference when you want a second glass or you have to drive home or any social reasons. And there's a global interest in lighter but quality alcoholic beverages, be it a good beer at less alcohol or a good wine.
So, where did you find the inspiration for this movement?
I found it 10 years ago for myself because I made a German Cabernet Riesling. The Cabernet Rieslings have a percentage of their alcohol left as sugar in the wine.
Yeah.
So the famous sort of 8% German Riesling that's off dry. Well, when I made that wine, every female in the room when I first released it to a mail order tasting commented positively on the fact that they were drinking an 8.5% alcohol Riesling. In other words, the lower alcohol, and that gave me the inspiration to perhaps if I could make Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc, the world's #1 white wine, with not 14% alcohol but 9ish, it could be a winner, and it has been.
Now, when you're making wine Sauvignon Blanc in Marlborough and you're bringing it down to under 10%, what kind of residual sugar are you leaving on that?
Dry.
Also, it's a completely dry style.
The one that you've got in your glass is typical, exactly like my 14% Sauvignon Blanc. Dry, but it has all the flavour, all the character. It's just got 4.5%, 5% less alcohol.
So how do you do that?
The secret. It's not really a secret. I identified which leaves make most sugar, and at a specific time in the grape growing cycle, how to remove them, and then the plant basically makes flavour, removes the acidity, gets pip and skin ripe. It just makes only about 60% of the normal sugar level.
Bloody hell! Sorry, I'm quite impressed by this. This is I shouldn't be as shocked as that, but it was I was expecting something with a little bit more residual sugar on it. That's really interesting.
I know. We've shocked a lot of people with and this whole New Zealand initiative is now making people surprised and pleasantly surprised all over the world. The aim from the New Zealand wine grower perspective is to make New Zealand the go-to country in the world if you want to be a little more responsible and have a nice wine with a lot less alcohol.
Wow, it's gorgeous. And you said you have about 20 producers right now who have bought into this?
Yes, that's right. And it's growing by the day. So, as the volume demand for it increases, because right now we are struggling to keep up with demand. It's been just taken off globally.
And where are your major markets for this lower alcohol wine?
It's the UK, or New Zealand's been enlightened now for nearly 10 years, but the UK, traditionally our biggest market, is also very conscious.
Interesting.
We're doing 50% of our production now as lower alcohol wine, and that's going to the UK predominantly.
Wow,
not to say here or America, Canada. The LCBO have had the low alcohol Sauvignon Blanc for 3 years, which is credit to them.
And how many, do you make any, I'm allowed to say normal alcohol level wines?
Well, that's where I started out.
Right, okay.
Years ago.
Yeah.
I don't dislike alcohol.
Okay.
I'm not trying to say that.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and in fact, I would have never made a low alcohol wine or attempted to do the research to find out how, if it hadn't been for that serendipitous observation about the Cabernet and how people actually appreciated a little less alcohol.
So how many wines do you make currently?
In low alcohol range, we have 4. The Riesling, the Sauvignon, we have a Pinot Rosé, and we haven't got enough product to release in Canada, but we've released in New Zealand and England our first red wine, a Pinot Noir, 9.5% alcohol, which is technically a bit of a challenge to do. And
Yeah, I can imagine.
A global first. A decent red wine at low alcohol.
Well, I look forward to tasting that. Thank you very much for joining us at Good Food Revolution today, and really appreciate you introducing us to the world of these lower alcohol, lighter style wines.
Well, it suits your name because it really has been a revolution, I think, and you can be part of it.
Superb. Bye for now.